Hello friends, welcome to Srivali's kitchen. Now I'm going to show you how to prepare the Andhra special Gongura Pickle. It's very famous and a very special, much liked pickle. It's a little time consuming process, but first we need the Gongura leaves, which you have to remove from the stems. Wash properly once or twice to remove all the mud, dirt and everything. Put this into a cloth or a towel, neat clean towel. Let it dry completely. So you'll have to do that process the before day. What you can do is get Gongura stems from the market. You separate the leaves, wash it, hang it in a towel, let it sit overnight so that it gets dried up, and then the next morning you can start preparing the pickle. Alright? Like I said, it is a little time taking, but the taste is worth it. So here we have the Gongura leaves already washed, dried and everything. Then we have the dry red chilies, fenugreek or the methi seeds and mustard seeds. Apart from this, here we have garlic cloves, unpeeled garlic cloves, which I'm going to add to this powder while grinding this into a powder. And we have 4 normal red chilies. Because this is a season and these are easily available right now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to separate a little portion of the pickle and add this red chili paste to it. So we are going to get 2 versions of the Gongura pickle. One would be the normal standard Gongura pachadi. The other would be Gongura and red chili pickle. First, what we need to do is take a pan, preferably a heavy bottomed, add some oil to it. To this, add the mustard and the methi seeds. Once the mustard pops, the methi starts to change color. Then we add the dry red chili. This is going to be the base powder for this pickle. Remember, we do not add any red chili powder separately. So you want to make sure you have a good quantity of dry red chilies. And since we usually like it spicy, we tend to add a little more. Okay, we add some asafoetida as well, just a little. Finally, we are going to temper the pickle again. The Gongura leaves are nowadays almost available throughout the year. These are slightly tangy in taste. They're not bland. They are a little sour, a little tangy. One of the reasons why we need more amount of dry red chilies. You can see the shape of these. The stems are maroon in color, but you also get white stemmed Gongura leaves. So there are 2 or 3 varieties, but try to get the ones with the maroon stems. They taste much better. Now let's see here. Right. So you can see that the mustard is starting to pop. The methi is just beginning to change color. And now we add the dry red chili. Okay. One reason we have to wait for the methi to change color is because once you add the red chilies, it will not change color and it won't get that exact flavor. And nicely flavored pickles are very important, are very tasty. You know, it just enhances the taste. So, just want to try this. Make sure the red chilies don't go brown, dark brown for that matter. Yes. Keep the heat on simmer. Keep mixing it. We don't want to burn the spice mix. We just want the red chilies to become crisp. You can see this beautiful glaze of oil on these. They're literally shining. Yes, it's starting to firm up, and there'll be a light change in color. Not much, because if the color changes too much, we're going to have a very dark powder, and that dark powder is going to change the color of the pickle. We want the pickle to look a nice dark green, not brown or maroon. So this is enough. Turn off the heat, let this cool, grind it into a powder. While grinding this, you can add the unpeeled garlic cloves as well, so that it's going to enhance the flavor of the pickle, and you're going to get that natural garlicky taste. For those who do not want or do not eat garlic, you can omit using these, or you can just add these to the final tempering. So now we're just going to wait for it to cool down, or transfer it onto another plate so that we can use the pan again. We have to cook the leaves in oil, which is the main task. This is a very tricky thing, because the leaves, once they start to wither in oil, once they start to cook in oil, they will start sticking to the pan, and it's going to become a little difficult. So we have to keep continuously stirring the mix and make it into a gooey lump. So the pan is now cleared. We're going to add oil, good quantity of oil for that matter, because we don't want the entire mix sticking to the pan. I'm just going to throw all the leaves in. They're going to crumple, soften up, turn into a very unappetizing color initially, but then they'll get back their natural darker green shade. Right, you can already see that some leaves are turning a shade of brown, yellowish brown. Keep mixing, keep mixing. Okay, since this is going to take some time, I'm going to show you in between, the between stages and the final stage, so you will have an idea as to when and what will happen. So let's continue to keep mixing this until it comes together. Right, now you can see that the entire mix has changed color. You can see the quantity we've got here, right? The full pan has come to 1/4. This is going to reduce even more, and we'll be left with a small sized gooey mix. Right, we have to keep mixing it, stirring it, so that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. If you want, you'll have to add a little more of oil to make sure the mixing movement is easier. Just keep kind of hitting, pressing, mixing and stirring it. It will stick to the pan a little like this. You don't have to worry about that. Just make sure it doesn't stick or burn entirely. That is the main part. This is going to take us another 10 to 15 minutes quite easily, because we want these leaves to cook further. We should not be able to actually differentiate between the leaves. That is the stage we need to get. I'm just going to keep mixing it. Make sure the heat is on simmer. You don't want to burn this mix at any given point of time. It's going to get only tougher as this thickens up. In the meantime, I've got this in the jar. So to this I'm going to grind this one, and then to this I'm going to add the garlic cloves, grind it in again, and then I'm going to show you how the powder looks. Alright, so you can see this has become a coarse powder. To this, I'm going to add a few garlic cloves. They are around 5 garlic cloves, unpeeled. Just mix it up once and grind it again. I've kept the remaining 3 garlic cloves to grind with the normal red chilies for the second variety or the second variation. So we are going to grind this again. Right, you can see the mix. I'm just going to transfer it onto a plate so that I can use the same jar to grind the normal red chilies. The minute you open the jar, the lid, you'll be hit with a nice strong flavor of garlic and the red chilies. It just smells amazing. In the meantime, just make sure you don't burn the leaves. I've got to keep stirring that mixture. Okay. Now it's time to add the remaining stuff to this. Let's see how the mix is or the paste is. Okay, you can see that it's become into a lumpy thing. The oil is starting to ooze out. This has to get cooked even more because this is still raw. The leaves are still raw, so we need to cook this more. Okay, now I've just roughly chopped or broken the red chilies. I'm going to add this to the jar, grind it. It's going to be a coarse mix because we're not going to add any water. Yes, remember, no water at any stage. Right. This is how the mix will be. Since we've added just 3 to 4 pieces of red chilies. If you want, you can add more, but it will be a coarse paste as such. Just keep it aside because the leaf mix is not ready yet. We're just going to let this cool down, and we go back to the lump or the leafy mixture. We're not going to add the powder immediately to this. We just have to be sufficiently cool. So even after we cook this out, we are going to let this sit for around 5 to 10 minutes or maybe even 15 minutes. And once it kind of comes to a room temperature, then we are going to add the powder, separate this into parts, add the red chili paste and all. So let this keep cooking. Another 3 to 4 minutes later, it has completely oozed out all the oil. So at this stage, I'm going to turn off the heat and let it cool down. You can see that it's a nice gooey paste-like thing. So we're just going to let this cool down and then continue with the rest of the process. Here I have this normal red chili and garlic paste ready, and then I have the powder ready. So we just have to wait for this to cool down. Here we have the cooked mixture of the gongura leaves has cooled down. It's come to room temperature. Now what we are going to do is, here we have the red chili and garlic paste. So to this paste I'm going to add some gongura leaves mix and mix it. You can use a spoon or you can use your hand. Preferably use a spoon, otherwise your fingers are going to burn. To this I'm going to add some salt. We haven't added salt till now. Let's mix that. Meanwhile, I'm just going to prepare a little tempering. Not much because we are only making a tiny quantity. Some oil. This has a very simple tempering, just some mustard seeds. Let the mustard seeds splatter. Add some asafoetida and we'll be done. If you want, you can add some cumin seeds as well. For those who like, you can add some methi seeds also. Yes, the mustard seeds are popping. Since the oil is already hot, I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to add this to this. Now definitely use this one. Put this back on the stove because we'll need it again. Go back. Mix it up nicely. If you're wondering why I'm preparing it in such small quantity, that's just because I want to show you a sample. Usually in the Andhra region they make this in huge quantities. Huge as in almost kgs, kilograms. So this is just a very tiny piece, a sample version. Mix it up nicely. Let it cool down a little because the hot oil is going to change its temperature once again. And once it cools down enough, you can serve it with whatever you like. Basically, it's going to taste awesome with hot rice and ghee. So now we move on to the next part. The next part here is we have the remaining gongura, and to that we are going to add this powder. The powder we have grinded. Don't add all at once, add it gradually so that you can taste it in between and see where to stop. And we are going to add around 1 big spoon of salt and a little more as well. Okay. Mix it up nicely and prepare the tempering. Add some oil, a good quantity of oil, not a little wouldn't do. Right. So this is oil. We are going to add mustard seeds. Some fenugreek seeds. If you like more, you can add more. What some people do is they add even a few coriander seeds to this. My father likes it, I don't. So ultimately we don't add. But if you want, you can add. Throw in a good quantity of asafoetida. Let the methi seeds change color, mustard seeds start to pop. And we need to add maybe a little more of oil as well. Pickles need a good quantity of oil. Always remember that. So, okay. Once this starts to kind of cook or take the heat, I'm going to add garlic cloves. Small garlic cloves. These are peeled. A little more of asafoetida as well. You can never have a lot of asafoetida. Okay? Right. Now we're just going to let this tempering come to a good stage. You can see the garlic cloves swimming in oil. Right. Meanwhile, let us check at what stage the pickle mix is. Right, so you can see the pickle mix. It's in a greenish, maroonish color. It's nicely mixed. You want to taste it once before you add the tempering, just to check if the spice and the salt is enough, because it's easier to add at this stage than later stages. Our mustard seeds are starting to pop. You can hear the sound. Right, so I'm going to turn off the heat. Let it continue to pop. The garlic has become nice and brown. If you don't like to brown the garlic, add the garlic a few seconds later on. Right. And if you like real brown garlic, add it earlier on. Simple. Add this hot tempering to the pickle. Yes. Mix it. Take a little quantity of pickle, add it to the pan, swirl it around, get the maximum flavor out of tempering. Mix it up nice and good so that all the tempered oil gets nicely soaked up by this mixture. You'll see how it's going to soak it all up and then release oil again. Keep mixing it, and once this mixture cools down enough, you can take it into an airtight container, keep it in a cool and dry place. Do not refrigerate it, it's going to lose its flavor, and serve it with rice. It's going to stay good without losing its flavor for 1 week, and after that slowly it's going to start becoming a little older, but then it's going to stay good for at least a month. You may not have the freshness, but it's not going to get old. I'm just going to take this into a serving bowl and serve it. Right, so here we have 2 varieties of Gongura pickle ready. This is the latest, the one we've just prepared, the normal variant of the Gongura pickle. And here we have the Gongura Pandumirappakaya Pachadi, which is Gongura with red chili pickle. It's a little, not so easy method, but this is going to taste really yummy and tasty. And if you haven't tried it before, do try it, because you're not going to leave it. You'll totally love this. So, 2 varieties of Gongura pickle ready to serve. Thank you for watching, and if you like my videos, do subscribe to Srivali's Kitchen. You can see a red button below the video. Click that and you'll subscribe to my videos. Have a nice day.